So next for me in my business is building it out when I started further. My first answer.
I wanted to come to you with a little bit of information that we were talking about as a group yesterday that I think is very helpful, that we have been seeing a lot of. This goes back to sellers who took advantage of any COVID relief measures that their mortgage lender might have been offering. Most commonly known as forbearance, that was one of them. So if you needed to put a pause on your mortgage payments, or maybe you just chose to, right, as a safety net, because I mean the world shut down in a day or in a week, right? And it was really scary. We didn't know what was going on. Regardless, if you took advantage of any of those measures, the assumption is that whatever time period and number of payments you would have paused would be tacked on to the end of your mortgage life, right? To the end. So what we're finding is happening now is when those people are going to sell their homes, they've been keeping track of what their payoff would be, right? Because you look at your mortgage statement. And what's happening is the mortgage companies separated those two debts on their books. So on the one hand, they have the actual mortgage payoff and the principal. And then they took that paused total and they put a separate lien on the property for that. Now, some people in their arrangement paid off whatever that paused total was before resuming their regular payments. But if you're someone who was tacking it onto the end, what we're finding is during title searching, it's coming up as a separate lien. So 3 days before closing, when the seller believes that they'll be paying off X amount and receiving something in proceeds, suddenly this second lien is showing up and it's taking a big chunk of their proceeds out, depending on how long they paused for. There are even some sellers who are depending on the money for something else, or just, on the razor's edge of paying off, and they have to bring money to closing to sell their own home. So there are some instances where things have been getting a little hairy. We've been able to keep all the deals together. However, the lesson in this really is make sure that whatever realtor you're using is asking the right questions and asking you the right questions, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. There's so many other details that get you from contract to the closing table and get the money in your pocket that are things that people just don't talk about. So on the buyer side, you also want an agent that's reading that title commitment when it comes across at the very beginning of your transaction, reading that third page with all just kind of the legal gobbledygook that doesn't look like it's much of anything, but those are conditions to clear title. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm happy to talk. Friends, family, coworkers, there's never an obligation. I'm happy just to answer questions. So I will talk to you soon, and I hope you have a fantastic holiday season.